Meet Bob. Bob is a regular guy. He brushes his teeth in the morning, goes to work every day, and he even likes to relax on the weekend with some video games. But one day, Bob was faced with a difficult decision. Should he put on pants and go downtown for his meeting with the bank, or should he just use an online bank like Simplii Financial? The choice was easy. Simplii Financial has emerged as one of the top online banks in Canada, but Simplii might actually appear to be newer than it actually is, and that's because it was formerly known as PC Financial. In 2017, PC Financial became Simplii Financial after a rebranding, and through that process became the direct banking arm of CIBC. See, you think that a lot of these virtual online banks are their own little thing, but in reality, it's very hard to escape the grasp of the big banks in Canada. Fortunately though, Simplii provides a great option for Canadians who are looking for a low-fee online banking solution. In today's video, I'll be talking about the main advantages of banking with Simplii, some of the drawbacks that you can run into, and I'll also be comparing it to Tangerine, which is one of the other top online banks in Canada. And speaking of Tangerine, I actually did a review for that bank as well, so I would recommend checking that one out if you have not already. And just like with Tangerine, this video is in no way sponsored, affiliated, or otherwise with Simplii. This is just my honest opinion. Let's see if I can do this all in one breath. Simplii Financial offers everything most people need, including a no-fee checking account, high-interest savings account, cashback credit card, various mortgage options, all sorts of lines of credits and loans, TFSAs, RRSPs, index mutual funds, GICs, and more. Okay, that actually wasn't very hard at all. I was expecting that to be a lot harder, so either I have a really good set of lungs or that just wasn't very hard. One of the main advantages to banking with Simplii is their no-fee checking account. Now, if you're with a traditional bank right now, that means that you might be paying $5 on your checking account per month, or maybe even as high as $15 per month just to have a checking account. While this only amounts to $60 to $180 per year, this amount can be annoying for a lot of people, especially just for a general checking account. And that's not to mention any added fees on top of that, which can be for things like frequent ATM withdrawals or e-transfers. Well, with Simplii Financial, you won't have to worry about any of that because there are zero fees tied to their checking account. You can have unlimited transactions, you can do all the withdrawals you want from CIBC ATMs, and you can also send unlimited free e-transfers. And speaking of CIBC ATMs, I want to make it clear that banking with Simplii means that you get a debit card. I know that for some people the whole concept of online banking can be a bit strange, but yeah, you totally get a debit card still with Simplii that you can use to withdraw money from ATMs. And also use in stores, obviously. More and more people are making the switch to this type of checking account every day, and it's easy to see why. Now, when it comes to savings account, Simplii actually has a great promotional offer on right now. So Simplii's only savings account is classified as a high interest savings account. And right now, if you open one up, you'll earn 2.8% on any new deposits until April 30th. And after April 30th, your rate will drop down to 1.1%. Now, this rate definitely isn't bad, and the promotional rate is very good. But you can definitely shop around to get a better rate on a high interest savings account elsewhere. For example, somewhere like EQ Bank can get you 2.45%. Or even the Wealthsimple Cash account, which is a hybrid spending and savings account, can get you 2.4%. I'll put a link in the description below so you can compare all the high interest savings accounts in Canada and see what rates they offer you. But I mean, with two straightforward accounts, a no-fee checking account and a high interest savings account, Simplii is positioning themselves very well to be, well, simple, a very simple banking solution that gives you a great checking account and a great savings account. It's a simple setup that's nice and effective. As I've already pointed out, banking with Simplii does come with a debit card. Now, for any of you boomers out there watching, and I say that term lovingly, I know that the idea of an online bank can be a little strange to wrap your head around. But rest assured that you can take this debit card and use it at stores as well as go to ATMs and withdraw money. And you'll be able to use it at CIBC ATMs for free. And that's actually something to keep in mind here if you're trying to decide between Simplii and Tangerine, is that Simplii is affiliated with CIBC and Tangerine is affiliated with Scotiabank. So depending on which ATMs you have easier access to, that might help influence your decision between the two banks. Having a solid credit card can be something that really optimizes your finances, and Simplii has just that, a solid credit card. They offer a cashback visa with no annual fee that offers you 4% cashback at restaurants, bars, and coffee shops, 1.5% cashback on groceries and gas, and 0.5% cashback on everything else. Since the card carries no fee, that means you're just earning this cashback straight up. You're getting it for free, essentially. If you watch the video on Tangerine, then you may have noticed that Simplii has kind of structured their cashback card in a different way than Tangerine's. Tangerine allowed you to pick 3 categories that you had earned 2% cashback in. But Simplii has decided that they're going to pick the categories for you, but they're going to give you 4% cash back on that restaurant and bar and coffee shop category. So that is higher than any of the 2% categories at Tangerine, but depending on how much you go to restaurants or go to bars or go to coffee shops might influence your decision between which card might be better for you. So I'd recommend reviewing what each card offers in terms of its cashbacks and categories, and then you can see which of those you spend money on more often and decide which credit card is going to be best for you. But neither card's going to be drastically different. I mean, you can optimize down to the dollar of how much cash back you want to get, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a huge difference, so don't let this be a deal breaker between one bank or the other. They're both no-fee cashback credit cards, which are great. So you guys all remember Bob from the first scene, right? Well, he decided to open up his savings and checking account with Simplii. But now Bob is looking to invest some money. All right, let's get rich. Oh wait, they only have mutual funds? Yeah, so similar to Tangerine, your investment options are going to be limited with Simplii. Simplii doesn't have a brokerage platform that you can use to buy your own investments in. Instead, they offer a range of index mutual funds that you can choose to invest in that are going to be managed by someone at Simplii. The strategy of these investments are fine. They invest in a group of index funds that are supposed to try and track and replicate the broad-based stock market, essentially. That's all well and good. But again, like Tangerine, the fees are just a little bit too high to be competitive. Simplii charges about 1.1%-ish on their mutual funds. But quite honestly, you can go to someone like Wealthsimple and they will provide you the exact same thing, maybe even a bit better in terms of services that they're offering you, and you're going to only be paying about 0.7%. Or you can even take that a step further and do it yourself. You can buy your own index fund ETFs, make your own portfolio. You can buy an all-in-one index fund ETF, and you're going to pay about 0.25% in fees. And of course, that can also be even cheaper depending on which index fund ETFs you buy. And this is something that I'll be teaching you all how to do soon. I know there's been a few of you in the comments who are very excited about an index fund ETF portfolio building tutorial, and it is coming soon, I promise. I just have a few more things that I want to cover beforehand so that we're fully prepared going in and so that it can be the best tutorial out there. But anyway, yeah, let's just say that Bob's thinking that he might actually have to put his underwear on and go somewhere else to invest his money. But keep in mind, you can have your checking and savings account with a bank like Simplii, but then have your investments somewhere else. This is an extremely common thing to do, and it's totally okay. And of course, this one was probably very obvious to you, but Simplii does not have physical branches, and this may or may not matter to you. Are you okay with not being able to speak to someone face to face? Are you totally cool with handling most things on your own and just picking up the phone and giving somebody a call if you need help? This is a conversation you'll have to have with yourself to decide whether no physical branches is a feature or a bug. This could very well depend on the complexity of your banking needs. For example, if you needed something like a bank draft, if you were with Simplii, you'd have to call them, let them know what you needed, and then they would mail it to you. But that would take a few days. Whereas if you were with a traditional bank, you could simply go into a physical location, ask them for a bank draft, and they would be able to provide it for you right then and there. So again, you'll have to assess how complex your banking needs are, because it might be very necessary for you to actually have a physical location that you can go to. But if you don't, and just doing everything online works for you, then hey, more power to you. Overall, Simplii is a great online bank for most purposes. There's a reason why they're virtually neck and neck with Tangerine for the top spot of online banking in Canada. And honestly, one of the main deciding factors between Simplii and Tangerine might just be whether or not you have easier access to CIBC ATMs or Scotiabank ATMs. They're that close in terms of what they offer. You really cannot go wrong with each one. So instead of getting caught up in analysis paralysis, just choose one and go and live and enjoy your life. The main decision you really have to make is whether an online bank is right for you or whether a traditional bank is more up your alley. And I really hope that my videos have helped out with that. So what do you think about Simplii Financial? Let me know in the comments down below. I really liked hearing from you guys after the Tangerine video. I'm Steve Antonioni, and this has been Cash College on Simplii Financial. I'll see you all. Oh right, Bob said to smash the like button. I'll see you all again soon.